She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks Podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast. I missed a word in there. The word was the. I'm Matt.
I'm Mel. I'm the Mel.
I'm a suspicious mailman.
And I'm the Caitlin.
You took my the.
We both
Yeah.
Caitlin's the thief.
Yes. And our guest today is Claire.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm a Claire. I might not be the Claire because Caitlin stole my the. I'm a Claire. Hello.
You're an Eclair?
Nice to be back. I am
tasty.
a chocolate Claire. Nom nom nom.
Well, it's good to
Hey guys,
you.
I'm so glad to be back. I've missed you guys. I'm glad to be listening to you guys as well.
Hey,
I know.
you don't hate us?
I don't hate you guys. I love you guys.
Hooray.
I agree with a lot of your points. I don't agree with some. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But, you know, that's okay. We're all about the love.
Right. That's right.
Well, how do you feel about this new season so far?
It's kind of funny because I think I told you guys before, like when I did the Twin Peaks Festival a couple of years ago, when I was production assistant, I had so many people asking me what my thoughts were about the show coming back, and every time I was a bit like, you know, I was kind of the same, but, you know, sort of excited, but I was kind of the same when I heard they were making a show of Daredevil. I love both things, but, you know, if it's not good, it's not good. You know, I'm not going to get too overexcited because then I'm going to be disappointed. And the thing with Twin Peaks is it's not going to be the same show as it was before, because if I saw the original series now, I don't know if I would like it as much as I did because I saw it at a particular age, and I'm not the person I was when I saw the show at that age, and so I haven't got that nostalgia going. So you just never know. But I'm liking parts of it so far. There's characters that I'm just like, why am I watching Jim Belushi? Go away. I need Cooper back, like now. I'm missing my beloved Dick Tremaine. I need him back to declare himself as the official father of Wally Brando. But yeah, I mean, it's a mixed bag. You know, it's fine. There's some bits I really love. There's some bits I hate.
Well, that's a pretty healthy outlook, I think.
Thank you. I do my best.
You're not a maniac one way or the other.
I'm not.
You're very moderate.
Yeah. Just a maniac in my murdering in my spare time.
That's just fine.
Alright, so this was episode 10, and let's get into it. So,
I can't believe we're over halfway through, I'm just sorry
I
to
know.
say, and we are still having to deal with Dougie Cooper.
he's not...
Every episode, something happens, and I think, this is going to be the thing that wakes him up every episode, and I'm a fool, because every time they let me down.
He's not coming
Very
back.
last episode.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Bobby Briggs is gonna come out of the Black Lodge with his shoes, hand it to him, and then he's gonna give a thumbs up, roll credits.
Oh no, I do appreciate the thumbs up and then roll credits. It's, you know, I'd prefer if there was a wink as well though. But speaking of Bobby, I do actually have an important question for you guys before we start, if that's okay. Before we go into the episode, mainly for you, Brad. So if you remember when you guys covered the original series, Brad, you assembled your super team to get things done, and I believe it was Major Briggs, Log Lady, Hawk, Bobby, and Audrey, if I remember right.
Sounds good.
And I
Sounds
just
good.
want to know if any of the new characters would make the cut and join your super team.
Well, Tammy will
Certainly
not.
not Jet. No, definitely. I mean, I'm just gonna say, I know he's an original character, but can we have Albert on that team as well?
Of course.
You should have been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't. Well, the thing is, and I gotta question this. I feel like Gordon Cole is the only one that's actually, moving the plot forward. So, and considering David Lynch is directing the show, I gotta look at that suspiciously. So I don't know. I'm keeping my original team because I don't trust this new series at all.
So no other new characters. What about Jamie E? I think she could kick some butt on the team.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Excellent.
If I had to add new people, she would be the one.
Just the
Okay, cool.
singular person from this new season.
Yeah.
Well, we open up with some new characters for this season. We've seen them before, but they're new this season, and it's Miriam's trailer, and Richard Horn is there.
In possibly the worst looking car I've ever seen.
I didn't
Yes,
notice this
it's
car.
so bad.
It's
Oh,
terrible.
it's
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like 3 different
Pieced
colors.
together.
Oh god.
Did you see Miriam's creepy little angel statue outside her trailer?
Yes.
That was creeping me out.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I saw a big bucket of apples.
Yeah, that was kind of random.
Yeah.
She's
There's
got
a
like
thing that I've seen like a couple of people mention, like, I don't know if you guys picked up on it in this episode, the uses of pink and red, like, and so, what does it mean? And I don't know if it means anything, but you do definitely notice it the second time round. Like in this scene, the like apples are really, like the red of the apples is really popping. Pink and red everywhere.
Kind of like the Wes Anderson vibe.
Yeah.
She's got the candy canes
everything
and all the Christmas ornaments still out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Richard Horn, he's got an interesting face, hasn't he?
He certainly does, especially from profile.
Yeah, he's like a really weird looking dude.
I couldn't think where I knew him from when he first appeared in the show, and then I realised he was in Jennifer Lynch's film Chained, if you guys have seen that film.
No.
And he's like a kid in it. But that's what I think he was first in, so that might be how he got this role, because obviously then David Lynch would know. But if you want to see a superbly creepy Vincent D'Onofrio, watch that movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's super creepy.
I'm just
isn't it?
wondering how he looks like as a kid now.
Ugly little kid.
He just looks like a smaller version of him now.
Oh.
Like,
He looks
with a
like he
slightly
looks like a
higher
rat.
voice.
Looks like a
Doesn't
rat.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't think he's as creepy as Shelley's daughter's boyfriend. I find that guy even creepier.
Oh yeah.
That actor, he always seems to play an arsehole. Like, he's an arsehole in Get Out, if you guys have seen that.
Yes.
I saw him in something else where he was an arsehole. But he was, he seems to just be playing arseholes lately, because the things I remember him from ages ago was as, he was in X-Men, I think, like the new X-Men films. But he was like Walt Jr.'s little buddy Lewis in Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Oh. And he wasn't the bad guy in that, though, right?
No, I think all he did was turn up and go, "Hey, I'm here to pick up Flynn.
Yeah.
Okay, bye."
Has he done his breakfast yet?
Was he eating his breakfast? That's like all he did. But he's so creepy, and I hate his moustache and his weird little ponytail. It's so
Yeah, he's
gross.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is a pet peeve of mine that nobody else probably cares about. It's too sunny. It's too sunny in this scene. Why didn't they film
Too
this?
dry.
Why
Too dry.
I'm sure this is in Washington, but still, they shouldn't have filmed this in the summer. They should have filmed it in the early spring, like they did the last one.
Yeah.
Damp.
It needs to be damp and
appropriate.
dreary and foggy. Too much sun.
Definitely needs to be lots more fog, I think.
Yeah.
We get that shot in the mountains, there's no fog. I'm not happy.
Yeah, you should have seen Matt whenever we were in Washington. He was like, "Oh, it's too sunny today. Oh." And then you'd see like fog go by the mountain, and you'd be like, "Ah."
I've come home.
Yeah, basically. I feel
You
like
would be like at home in the movie The Mist, Matt. You'd be like,
Oh my
yes,
God.
Yeah, just walk out into the monster.
come
mist.
to me,
the
Mist.
creature takes you, you're like, "Oh."
You don't live in this mist.
See, my pet peeve in this scene was when he said to Miriam, "Oh, you told police. Have you told anyone else?" And she went, "No, I haven't." And I was like, "Miriam, you never tell the villain that. Now they're going to kill you."
Why did she send a letter? That's what I want to know. Why didn't you just march down to the police station and tell them?
Because Miriam's the worst.
Yeah.
She's never heard of email.
She might have been afraid to leave her house, but that was stupid because that's exactly where he found her.
Yeah. But she did.
I'm gonna need everyone in Twin Peaks to get some proper doors.
Well, she does live in a trailer, so I doubt you could get a trailer with like a steel door. Just go through the wall instead.
But even what's her face? Mrs. Horner.
Sylvia.
Yeah, she had
yeah.
a proper door. She just didn't close it.
Yeah, she didn't. Close
Yeah, that was so stupid.
Maybe
Why did she go to the door?
It's just that, like, Richard Horn can break down any doors. Like, doors
He's like Hulk's
are
out.
not a weakness. Yeah. He just blasts through them like they're made of paper.
So when she called the police, she probably got Chad. That's probably what's implied. Like, that's why he's not in jail, because she spoke to Chad.
Yeah.
Chad's the worst.
Yep.
Ugh.
But yeah, he goes in there and he beats on her, and I think she's still alive when he leaves, because the actress is breathing, but he leaves the candle on and the gas.
That's a lot of blood.
It is a lot of blood. She probably would have died anyways.
It's a
but
head
she was
wound, though.
she
Head
was
wounds-
breathing.
Head wounds bleed a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, they look scarier than they are.
But we don't see this explosion, of course, because explosion equals money.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's left to our imagination.
yeah. Then we go to Fat Trout Trailer Park, and Carl
Aww,
playing a nice
he's so
dog.
adorable. I love him so
But he
much.
looks so miserable.
No, can like 1 week instead of like I like the Roadhouse bands. Well, I like some of them, you know. Like I like this week's one. But 1 week, can we just have him on the stage just singing a little song? It'd be so cute. Singing some John Denver or something. Aww.
Carl Rod's open mic night. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, I love that as well. Harry Dean Stanton is literally like slowly turning into a bloodhound.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's so adorable.
So a coffee cup comes through a window, which is like the very first thing that was ever teased about this season way back in 2014.
Wow.
Oh, was
remember
it?
That?
Mark Frost on Twitter, he's like, somebody asked him what he could say, and he's like, not much, but I will say you will see a coffee cup fly through a window.
Oh,
You could have stuck that anywhere. Okay.
Yeah. When I pictured it, I always pictured somebody throwing it through the double R window. It's like, no, don't ruin those nice big windows.
Well, they didn't.
They didn't.
What if it literally flew through the window, though? What if it's just trying to escape this terrible situation?
Nobody threw it. Yeah. I'm out of here.
I don't like this violence.
I saw Steven's moustache and was like, ah, and like flew out the window to get away from it. And also when Steven's like yelling at her, he's just got all this like spittle, and it was just really
Snot.
grossing me out. And it's like snot, and it's stuck in his moustache. I was like, I'm gonna.
How do you get like that as an actor? Like, did he just like breathe really heavily through his nose like for 5 minutes before they started the take, or like what? How did he do that?
If it was me, I would go and like bury my face in a cap, and then that would do it. I'm allergic.
There's like
Maybe
this
he did
special
that.
effects goo that you can add on. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah.
Special effects snot.
Yeah.
But he was probably actually spitting all over the
I've heard this guy
Yeah.
is a method actor. I've heard he's like really intense as an actor. Yeah,
Really?
So it's probably real snot.
this is probably real.
Yeah, I bet David Lynch just has you do whatever you can just to reduce mucus.
Mucus costs. I did like her sweater though. She had a really pretty sweater on. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
she did.
I was like, you're too good for this man. You're really too good
Just because of her sweater?
because of her sweater. Yeah, she's adorable as well. She should just leave.
There was a lot of nice sweaters in this episode because I kind of like what Janie E's wearing later. I was like, oh, that's quite pretty.
Yeah, she's got.
I honestly didn't think she would be back in this series, Amanda Seyfried. I was starting to think she's just going to be a cameo like
Waldo.
a Sarah.
Yeah.
But maybe they are setting her up to be the new Laura.
It should
But,
be called Waldo.
It's too late to set her up as the new Laura. She's like only been in 2 seasons.
I know.
It's too late for everything.
Yeah, it is.
Like, nothing's gonna happen. Guys, all of you that are waiting for something, it's not coming.
Yeah.
Brad, Dick Tremaine is going to come back. I'm telling you.
I would be happy if Big Ed got a line at this point.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Nadine got a line. That was pretty nice, I guess.
Yeah,
Keep talking. I forgot another pack.
And when's Monica Bellucci coming into it? Because she's still meant to be in it.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
But I don't know when. I'm sure I heard someone say that they had a guess who she was playing, but I can't remember who it was. I will say I have had some information about a character that I think a lot of people are going to be really upset about.
Oh no.
Okay.
What is true? I can tell you guys later off the record if you would like.
Okay, sure.
Nice. I'm gonna be upset if Jim Belushi has more time
Oh, I know.
than fucking Nadine or Ed.
This is it. In those scenes, I love the actor whose name I can't remember, but plays Tommy Dolan in Carnival, or Teabag in Prison Break, I guess. I love that guy, but he's like Jim Belushi. He's just terrible. It was kind of like every scene with the two of them, I was like, yay, yeah.
But Brad, what you were saying about there's no time for anything, like I was thinking about all the stuff we was introduced and we haven't seen, and all the characters we haven't seen. Period. Like Big Ed, and we saw one scene with James. Like, is he ever coming back? Like, was he hired back to this just to be seen from a distance in the Roadhouse so somebody could say a line about him?
He's too cool. He's too cool to be in the show.
Richard...
I believe his friend with the glove will be back.
And not
I
James.
I don't. Well, I
And,
hope James is back.
The series
He's
opened
so
with
cool.
Richard and Linda. We still have no sign of Linda. Beverly's husband, was that just a one-off scene that we didn't really need to see? Like the 119 lady and her son, Sheriff Truman's wife.
What's the 119 lady?
Sheriff Truman's wife, Red, the guy who owns the truck that Andy was talking to, like the fourth diary page that's apparently missing.
Audrey.
Oh my God, Audrey! You're right. There's not enough time. There's not enough time for all of this.
This pace, and the pace is not going to change.
No.
No.
Like, we're very fortunate to be at the pace we're currently at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some people.
It's.
Yeah, some people are saying like, oh, I bet Cooper's going to come back at the literal 11th hour in the 11th episode. I'm like, no, he won't. Cooper won't be back.
I really hope not. I need Cooper back. Like, you know what I mean? Cooper is like the protagonist of the show, and we've only seen him when he was like in the traveling through the glass box and everything like that, and he wasn't really Cooper then. And I feel like there's this massive hole in the series at the moment, and it's because we don't have our antagonist.
That's very selfish of you to want to
I know, I'm so
say
selfish.
that you want Cooper, because this is David Lynch and Mark Frost baby. We have to respect that.
Well, I also want the other protagonist of the show, Dick Tremaine, but I don't think I'm going to get him, the other main character.
I mean, I don't even need Cooper. I just need like characters and character development and like plot, and the thing is, I think the dividing line is, I don't trust David Lynch. Mm-hmm. I don't trust him at all. Like, I liked his early movies. I don't like his later stuff. I like Twin Peaks, and this is not Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So,
it's like a mashup of like Twin Peaks and Inland Empire, the series, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, and I just wish it was more consistent. Like, there's been some really good bits, and I don't know, it just feels very inconsistent to me. And with the pace we are going at the moment, we're 10 episodes in. I feel like everything's not going to be covered. There's going to be loads of loose ends. I don't know if we're going to get another series because, and I don't want to say it, but David Lynch is getting on a bit. And yeah, it's just kind of frustrating. And then we have scenes like the one in this episode with Candy going to get the guy on the casino floor, and it just went on for so long, and I was like, oh, we could be watching something that means something.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like I've just come to accept now that we're just going to see repeats of a lot of the scenes, so we're going to see repeats that kind of slightly advance the story a little bit, but it's still going to be the same scene that we saw in the previous episode, just a little bit.
Sometimes,
So I just like
sometimes literally.
Yeah, sometimes literally. So I felt like I've made my peace with it. Like I made my peace with this episode. The next episode I might be upset with the show again, but this episode is like, no, I think I'm okay right now. Like I'm fine with this. It's okay.
Yeah, I think we, at least at this point, we know where we're going.
Yeah.
At some point, Hawk and Bobby and Truman are going to end up in the same place as Cole and Albert and Tammy and Jerry Horn. They're all going to end up in the same place.
Oh my God, Jerry Horn.
I can't see them ever meeting. I think they're just going to be two parallel lines the whole season.
Oh God!
Well, they're both.
If they don't end up at the same place on this show.
Well, the two groups are both going to specific coordinates. Like the Twin Peaks police are going to Jack Rabbit's palace, and the other group's going to someplace in North Dakota. My assumption was that whoever's going to North Dakota is just going to get transported to Twin Peaks. But I don't know how they're going to get Cooper to that spot with the agents. Like,
I mean, if it doesn't all end there, or like that doesn't be, if that's not like gateway to whatever magical place. I mean, we're just like following two separate things. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Never.
Can I just say, when they mentioned Jack Rabbit Palace, did anyone else just every time they say it, does anyone else just keep thinking of Jack Rabbit Slims? And just imagine they're all going to meet there and have a twist contest like in Pulp Fiction? Because that would be delightful. I wouldn't mind if that's how the series ends.
$5 shakes for everyone.
Oh, yeah. That's what Nadine was drinking in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys already talk about the Casino Brothers? Well,
A little bit.
No.
I just said I have my love for the one who was in Carnival, and I can't remember the actor's name, and my
Robert Knepper.
loathing...
Yeah.
Robert Knepper, thank you. And my loathing for Jim Belushi. So every time Robert Knepper's doing something, I'm like, yay! And every time Jim Belushi's doing something, I'm like, ah!
We got a message, Brad. We got a message from somebody saying that you're mistaken about Jim Belushi, and you're actually thinking of John Belushi was the misogynist.
No, I'm pretty sure they both are.
I didn't look it up, so yeah, you could be right still, but that's what that person alleged.
I'm pretty sure Jim Belushi's a garbage monster. I'll double check it, but
I just think he's just not very good in this at all.
So, yeah, what about the scene where Candy is chasing a fly, and then she smacks one of the Jims in the face?
When she first appeared on screen, I honestly thought that was Naomi Watts playing a different role. I was very confused. I don't know why, because the actress's face looks a bit like Naomi Watts, and I was like, what?
Do you have blonde blindness like me, where you can't tell
I think
Hollywood
so.
blondes apart?
That's why I stopped dyeing my hair blonde, because when I looked in the mirror, I didn't know who I was.
I mean, that'd be a good day job for her, when Sunny Jim's in school. That's she goes in. She's really gathering intel on mob bosses. So
yeah, and Janie was wearing pink later, so maybe she likes pink like Candy.
So
maybe they are the same person.
What's the deal with these three women that have to dress in these clothes?
They're kept women.
And, like, they just serve drinks. They need those three girls in those outfits to serve them drinks at home and tag along wherever they go.
It's like the frills on your shirt. You just keep them around because they look pretty.
Just in case. And why do they ask Candy to do everything when she's clearly so bad at it? You've got two other girls there. Ask them to do something.
I think they were trying...
Because they're worse.
I feel like they were trying to make her feel better, or trying to distract her, but I feel like... It looked
she
like
was
they
very
drugged
distracted,
her.
Mel.
But it looked like they drugged her to make her less hysteric, and then they were like, "Do everything for us." I don't really know.
She's got hysterical female emotions, and they had to drug her. And that's why she's all slow.
Damn hysterical females.
I know.
Well, I mean, like the huge fuss she was making after she hit him on the face, like literally all day and all night. Like, that's the only thing I can interpret from that is that after that they're like, drug her up. I don't know.
What was the thing where he was like, "Oh, if we get rid of her, she's got nowhere to go"?
Yeah.
So do they just take in like street urchins to be their serving girls?
That's what it sounds like. She reminded me, that whole fly thing just reminded me of Lucy from the second season of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Where she was forever chasing that fly. I was just like, this is exactly the scene.
She's kind of more like Lucy's been, like Candy was more like Lucy's been already in this season, like super dumb.
Yeah.
And Lucy was more savvy in this episode, which I liked, because she kind of reminded me of like in the original show when Lucy was kind of savvy enough to be typing what Mike and Bobby were saying and pretending she wasn't listening. So I was like, oh, old Lucy's back. That's cool.
That's it. She's just been upping her act this whole season. Like, she's taken it 10 times further than she did in the first season. She's super undercover, guys.
Wow.
Do we have a normal female character in the show?
That's
Good question.
We were talking about that, Matt and I. We were like, I don't think there's any like good representation of a woman
in this episode.
in this episode.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where's Sylvia?
Well, with the hand biting, and that was like so.
Oh,
over the
yeah,
top.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
I don't know.
She tied up her son.
She tied up her son.
I don't
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Why? And she, well, we'll get to it later.
Him, though. To protect him, I get it, but because obviously he was like, kept banging into walls and hurting himself, but
I don't know. I wasn't definitely saying there was no good female representation in this
There wasn't
episode.
a lot.
I was just wondering because it made me feel gross.
Well, yeah, because all the women are getting either beaten or like emotional or insane. Like it's
Or horny, like Janie.
Well, let's go.
yeah,
Let's go to
they're all
Dougie.
sex objects are being attacked.
Let's go to Dougie at the doctor.
Look, Dougie is the sex object in this episode because I was kind of looking at him the way Janie was as well. I was like, oh, karma blocker.
I cannot believe that he is like still in the shape he's in. Like he looks the
Yeah,
same.
it's impressive.
And doesn't he like isn't he really into his wine as well? Like, I really thought he would have like a little wine belly.
Aww. No, he looks like he's in good shape.
Yeah.
Not that I would trust this doctor to know.
You know what I was hoping would happen would be that they'd take off his shirt and they'd be like, "Hey, what's this? You've been shot." When were you shot?
I thought they were going to notice that he was stabbed because like his shot thing, like it mainly hit the bug, didn't it? But I mean, there still would be a scar. But he was also stabbed by Wyndham
Yeah, he's
Earl.
been stabbed and shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I thought they were going to know. Again, David Lynch, you keep getting me. I was like, oh, he's going to see that, and then like it's all going to come flooding back to Coop, and that's when he's going to come back, and it didn't.
I seem to remember, maybe I'm wrong, but I seem to remember there was a scene in the original series where he took off his shirt and he had a scar of some kind.
I want to know where he had the time to, or the. Is there a gym in the Black Lodge? Like, what's that?
No, they kept the donuts away from him, so he never got out of hand.
It's in the Giant's apartment that he was in.
He was
The
always.
Giant's private one.
But he was always sitting in a chair, like that's not a workout.
He just has those muscle vibrators.
Yeah.
Those-
Electrical
He's been doing his butt
It'll
punches.
use your abs.
Electric stimulation, yes.
And we found out they've been planning Sonny Jim's birthday for 6 months.
Why?
What?
Can we get a flashback of this birthday party?
Better have been the best
Oh,
birthday
please,
party.
so good.
It's been great. Did you guys recognise this kid, by the way, the first time he appeared in the show?
No.
He's the creepy little psychic kid out of Looper.
No, we didn't see it.
I didn't see that.
Oh, he's so creepy in that film.
Don't remember him in that show. Oh, in the movie, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good in it. But he's very, very creepy. Yeah, so I was like, oh, it's that guy.
Did you guys notice how Janie didn't notice Coop's body at first? Like, she was staring right at it, and then he's like, "Oh, your heart and lungs are in excellent condition. Oh, and your blood pressure's really good too." So it's just these medical stats that turned her on.
She's like, ooh.
Those are some good numbers. Whoa.
Yeah, she must have had to dress him at some point, because he obviously hasn't been doing anything himself.
She did. We know she dressed him at some
She had to bathe him
Yeah.
at some point too, I imagine. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all the medical statistics that turned her on.
Yeah. She really loves watching medical shows. Like, she loves watching Grey's Anatomy. Because whenever they say the medical stats, she's like, ooh.
It's like reading a Harlequin romance. She's like, ooh, it's all hot and bothered.
Yeah. So then there's the scene at night where Candy's crying, and they see the TV, and they see the attack on Dougie. They find out Ike was arrested.
Yeah, poor Ike. Little sobby.
A little sobby.
My favourite bit of the scene was Sheena, when he's like, what's next, Sheena? She's like, local news!
I want to know if Las Vegas...
Yeah, that's so weird.
I want to know if Las Vegas news is that ridiculous.
Yeah, we didn't watch when we were there. We should have.
I think they had to, like, kind of, state that it's local news, obviously, because otherwise, if it was national at all, then maybe someone in Twin Peaks might have seen Cooper and recognised him, but no. Yeah. It's only local.
So Janie just wants to eat Dougie right up. And and she's like, am I attractive? And he's like, meh, you're no cake.
This cake, okay, this is the driest looking cake I have ever seen in my life.
Actually, Claire, it's the most tremendous, delicious chocolate cake. We were just enjoying this luxurious chocolate cake.
It is so dry, this cake. If you see, every time he takes a bite, he chews it for like 5 minutes. I was like, what is this cake made of, leather?
I thought that was just because he's slow.
It looked like he was eating sand.
It did. Oh, gross. Yeah.
And then, smash cut to sex scene.
Yeah.
Floppy arms.
Yeah,
okay, what do you guys
This made me feel a bit weird watching this.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know if Dougie can give consent. It's a bit of a
clearly
Dopey and the... Brad, it's a Dopey and the Descendants situation, and you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Guys, there's some weird new Disney show for kids where it's like children of like Disney characters. Dopey has a son. Which means somebody fucked Dopey. That's not
very uncomfortable. The more you think about it, the creepier it is. I don't think Dopey can give consent either.
Maybe he snapped out of it. Maybe Dopey snapped out of it at some point. They'd have to change his name.
But... I remember the same kind of thing was said about Goofy, where they were like, Goofy has a son.
Yeah.
He had to have sex at some point.
Yeah, I found out about that recently too, and it was weirded out by it.
Also, in that same Disney show, the genie has a kid. Who's having sex with the genie? No. So weird.
I was kind of weary about this scene at first too, but then I thought about it and I'm like, anytime something that's happened to Dougie that he hasn't liked, like for instance somebody lying about something, he's a liar, or someone trying to kill him, he takes them down. So if he really didn't want to do this, he would have snapped out of it.
I don't think that's okay. I don't think that is not an okay response to consent issues.
You don't think if he really didn't want it, he would have done something?
You know, I think the thing is, sure, he's not able to consent mentally, but if he didn't want it, it wouldn't happen.
But I'm trying to picture, like, a sex scene where someone is like, hey, do you want to have sex? Yes, let's have sex. Like, it's never, like, I don't know if it's always that clear.
But Dougie clearly cannot consent.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you in any way.
We're aware of that, but no one else seems to be aware of the fact that Dougie is...
A person that's under the influence of alcohol heavily cannot consent.
Yeah.
Dougie definitely cannot consent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured there was a chance that if he really didn't want to do it, he would have snapped out of it like he did.
He would have judo chopped us.
Like those other instances where something was happening that he didn't like, he snapped out of it.
Plus, we didn't see the scene in between. You know, it just cut to sex. But I know what you mean. Like, he can't even really communicate with people properly. So how could he even, like, you know? I don't know.
Maybe she lured him to the bed by holding a shiny. She lured him into the bed by holding up a shiny police badge, and he was like, "Ooh, police badge." And followed her into the bed.
Yeah.
This was the second time in the episode. I was like, oh, so they're going to have sex, and then I bet when they're lying there afterwards, like, that's going to have snapped him out of it, and he's going to say either Annie or Caroline. He's going to make him think of his two true loves or whatever, and he's going to snap out of it. Nope. Every time. I just want Cooper back so much.
You ain't getting it.
I know.
Then we go to a pointless Dr. Amp scene.
Yeah.
I love it. Always love it.
What did we learn here that we didn't know the first time?
I I don't care. Give me the same scene every episode. I just fucking love it.
That's basically.
But you get to see Dr. Amp's awesome lightning bolt bow tie, which I want because it was very Ziggy Stardust and it was pretty awesome.
I love that he works himself up into such a froth. He wipes his mouth with a rag.
Oh, why is everyone spitting in this episode? It's gross.
Yeah.
Oh, also, what we learned in this scene, that's very important, is that Nadine has her silent rape business.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't know if it's supposed to be in this location within the continuity of the show, but in real life, they set that shop front up directly across from the Double R. So maybe it's like that in the show too. Maybe out of spite, Nadine set up her shop directly across from Norma's.
I also like Nadine's new haircut. I was like, Nadine, you're looking good. You got your own business. I'm pleased for you, Nadine. You go, girl.
She's like,
go and get Mike Nelson back.
and she's doing some like free advertising for Dr. Amp's Golden Shovels in her display window.
Yeah. Her shop looks like a funeral home. It's all black and it's very weird.
And then in the morning, Dougie and Janie have a little nice moment before they go off to work. And then we cut to Jerry yelling in the woods. And
this is how I see you, Brad, as an old man, just out in the woods yelling at nature.
How would he have gotten in the woods?
Yeah, what am I doing in nature, Claire?
Because I lured you there.
Oh no!
Oh god!
I don't think so.
with a shiny police badge. That's how I lure everyone.
You'd have to tear down the house around him.
I would.
Yeah, you better have a cute puppy, because otherwise.
Yeah. I'm gonna lure you into the woods with a cute puppy and then leave you there to yell at nature.
I'm picturing Claire in like one of those kidnapper vans with like a van full of puppies.
I'm there. Feel free.
Pound puppy van.
Kidnap me. If anyone's listening and has a van full of cute puppies, feel free to kidnap me, please.
And I say the same, except with a van full of werewolf cats.
We go to the sheriff's office, and Chad is waiting for the mail with Lucy.
It's the worst. It's awful. Ooh. Did you guys see all the Dell product placement in this scene?
Yes, I know. I noticed every single product placement in this. There's.
What have you noticed so far, Caitlin?
Hello.
Caitlin's been lured into the woods.
Oh, they put a van full of Dell products and they got Caitlin.
Oh, Caitlin, come back.
Her microphone was a bit staticky before she...
Yeah, it went a bit weird, and then she got dragged off to the Black Lodge or something.
She's currently enjoying the internet on her new Dell laptop. It's really shiny, guys.
This was the only time I noticed the product placement. It just felt like there was little Dells everywhere.
Yeah.
What was happening?
I noticed the Lenovo laptop before.
Yeah.
It's the Vegas guy. You there? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
What else have you noticed for product placement?
Oh, there's lots of product placement, but in terms of computers, there's been like 4 different brands.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So then, Lucy watches Chad get the mail, and I can't tell if she noticed him taking that or not, because he kind of blocked it with his body pretty well.
I wish she did, because she was watching him and you could tell that he was kind of shuffling the...
Yeah,
it looked like,
he looks...
even from behind, he looked like he put like one of the letters in his pocket or whatever.
Yeah, and she was sure to not let him know that she was watching him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And people have freeze-framed on the letter, and they've noticed that it comes from Miriam with a different last name than the Miriam has been credited with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm thinking this is just a production error, or they decided to change her name, because, like, that would be such an odd thing to put in there and complicated to get across. Like, they did.
No, it all means something bad. It means something.
No, it's David Lynch. He can do that.
Yeah. Like, they didn't.
It's an intricate tapestry.
Yeah, they didn't call it out, like, hey, look at her last name. Like, I don't know. It's probably nothing, even if it's...
Can I just say, Matt, I'm just going to point out that Hodge rhymes with lodge.
Where'd you get Hodge from? Is that her last name?
No, because you said it said Hodge, didn't you? Or Hodges? Hodge rhymes with lodge.
I don't think I
Like
said the
the
word
Black
Hodge.
Lodge
I've never heard the word Hodge.
Oh, well, I don't know where I got that. Maybe I got it. I don't know. Maybe
Someone whispered it in your ear, Claire.
Yeah, what's going on? I don't know.
Look behind you.
There's a kidnapper van.
Oh, kitties!
Then we get Richard driving. You got a message from Chad saying it's done.
This is when he looks like a rat.
Yeah.
You see him, his profile. His profile's very strange.
He's got a funny voice.
He's a striking-looking young man.
Yes, he is.
And then we go to Sylvia Horne's house, and let's talk about this whole scene.
What the fuck is that teddy bear? It looks like the demon offspring of Teddy Ruxpin and the Fluke Man at the X-Files.
This is the stuffed animal that David Lynch gives to all his kids. It's like passed down from child to child. They've all had it.
Hello,
I think
Jennifer. How are you today?
This explains a lot as
Hello,
to Johnny
Riley.
Horne's mental state at this point, because I would be trying to struggle to get away from this thing as well. Although I do like that it has a bit of a Cockney accent. That was very amusing.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, Johnny.
How are you today?
How are you today? Hello, Johnny.
What's the point of this thing repeating that line? Is it
I think
supposed
it's
to?
broken.
Is it broken?
Why does it just have a light bulb in its head?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
the face.
disturbed by this thing. Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, it's
It's got the round sucker mouth that the Fluke
Yeah.
Man has from
Yeah.
X-Files.
All right, Johnny, you just
so
sit here and
creepy.
stare into the terrifying visage of this this stuffed animal.
Just
slash-
stare into this crap.
Stare into
Crap,
this
you've
crap.
been taken into.
Tim Burton. Stare into this Tim Burton drawing.
Yeah.
That was voiced by Dick Van Dyke.
I think it's a bear it's a bear that sucks out, like, it sucks all your mental capacity so that you can't function as a human being.
What if they found a therapist that's worse than Dr. Jacoby?
Yeah. I think they have.
Not positive.
So, what do you guys think of the actor who plays Johnny now? I think he looks way too different from the old actor who plays
Yeah.
Johnny to be convincing Johnny.
He seems very with it in this scene as well. Like, I mean, not with it, but you know what I mean. Like, he's obviously trying to say mum, and he's trying to get to Sylvia and stuff. And I don't know. It just didn't feel like
25
Johnny.
years.
I know.
I mean, he has
This scene actually made me quite sad when he's.
Yeah. I was
when
wondering if
Sylvia's
he,
upset, he's trying
like,
to get
if he
to her. I
was,
felt really bad.
yeah, if he was free, would he have tried to help his mom? I
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
but
Yeah. It was the only thing that was kind of making it like a light scene, or trying to, was the music and this like really, I don't know, chilled out music and the hello Johnny.
yeah.
But apart from that,
Hello,
this was really sad.
The whole thing. People have been saying it reminds them of that scene early on in A Clockwork Orange, and I definitely agree.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Ooh.
So yeah, Richard comes.
I'm gonna go to Build-A-Bear workshop tomorrow, by the way, and go buy you guys a bear and record a voice for it, going, "Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today?"
No. And then you add one more line, cunt.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Richard is the worst. He yells at his grandmother and assaults her physically.
Why did she not lock the door immediately?
I know, and she seems to have somebody who works at the gate. Why isn't
Yeah,
informed
that was my biggest question.
he's not allowed in?
It just seems like she, despite like her knowing what her grandson is like, she still has a soft spot for him.
Yeah, maybe he's here for a nice visit.
Yeah, but she was scared of him. She's terrified. Like, and I don't know. Sometimes when you're scared, you just don't think fast enough, right? You're just like,
yeah, he usually treats me like shit, but yeah, maybe he's here for a nice visit. I'll get out the hard candies just in case.
Maybe you bought me some Werther's Original this time. So do we, like, obviously he calls her grandmother, so we know he's either the son of Johnny or Audrey.
Yeah, and I don't think...
Probably not Johnny, because that's talking about consent. But
Yeah, and he threatened to anally rape Johnny.
Yeah, God.
And that'd be much. I mean, it's already bad that he's his uncle and he said that. It'd be worse if he was his father.
Oh no!
I wouldn't put anything past this show at this point, though.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna until I hear otherwise. This is Donna's kid.
I know. I can't. I think I sent my feedback. Like, if it turns out and this whole Audrey and hospital thing, I honestly, I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch season. Like, I will watch season 1 again because I love the show, but it's just. It's just going to feel icky every time Coop and Audrey are on screen together.
That's definitely where they're going, though.
I think you just have to consider that this show is not canon.
I think that's why a lot of people want it to be, just so it's a different case than the Audrey being raped in hospital case. They want it to be, they want him to be Audrey and John Justice Wheeler's kid.
Well, I'm thinking she would assume that it's JJW's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because she would have no idea about what Cooper did to her because she was in a coma.
Yeah.
So, and then the fact that it's actually Cooper's kid will be like a big reveal later in the season. Ooh. Even though most of us figured it out.
Yeah.
But he can't be Donna's kid because then Sylvia wouldn't be his grandmother.
Do we think that Sylvia and Ben divorced because of the whole Donna thing and Doc Hayward killing Ben, but not really in the last episode?
It feels like, to me, it feels like a relatively recent split because he's trying to be good and not fall for Beverly, and he's still wearing his wedding ring and stuff.
That's true.
I don't know.
And I mean, even if Donna is not like Sylvia's child, I know some families will accept other people's kids readily. I don't know if Sylvia would, but. You know.
Yeah, he just calls her grandma. That's it.
Grandma.
Why would Donna change her name to Horn?
Because she's the worst.
Also, because her dad tried to murder her real dad and also locked her sisters in the attic.
Plus, like, Ben Horn is like super rich, and don't you think Donna would be rich too?
Yeah.
I wish they brought Donna back for the show, but as with Moira Kelly. I mean, it would have been great if they had original Donna, but if you can't get Moira Kelly,
yeah, I know.
Give us the better Donna.
I really don't understand why Harry is not in the show. Particularly as I figured, he's not going to be an important part of the show, I guess. But then, and sorry, I'm skipping ahead, but that's what I do, deal with it. But at the end, they have the log lady talk about like the Truman brothers, highlighting the fact that there's 2 of them. And I was like, but then why would you not? If you're going to show the 2 Mitchum brothers, who I guess are like meant to reflect the Truman brothers, then why would you only show 1 Truman brother?
So do you wish that Robert Forster was playing Harry Truman then?
Yeah. Because I love Robert Forster. Yeah. And he doesn't shout unnecessarily at certain moments.
So then we go to the Las Vegas office, and we get the desk guy who I never remember his name. I think it's Duncan something.
Todd.
Yeah, Duncan Todd. Yeah. Mulholland Drive dude. That's like, think of him.
He sends Anthony to the Casino Brothers to pit them against Dougie for the insurance claim.
I don't like this Duncan guy at all. No, he's just like so lazy.
He hasn't got up from that chair more than once, I don't think.
Yeah, just gets everybody to do his work for him.
Yeah.
This whole like thing of him like weaving his web, like Duncan with who's working for him and who he's getting to try and kill other people and setting up in the insurance thing, and now the Mitchums and the casino and all that. That is the Sawmill Ledger storyline of this series, because I just can't get my head around it. I'm just like, okay, so
that plot was so much more interesting.
Well, except this one is connected to Evil Coop. Like Duncan's working for Evil Coop.
I know, but I just can't. I can't get all the connections in my head. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. So something to do with him. Great, because I think like this is the less interesting storyline for me.
I've got all of it straight except for why there was a box in Buenos Aires that collapsed in on itself. I was like, what is that about? But everything else, I think I got it. But then we go to a restaurant, and Somebody's having a first date.
My heart grew 3 sizes in my chest. This was the most... I felt like their mum. I was like, oh my god. Like, my little ship is coming together. I will go down with the ship. I love them. They're so cute. They're like the most adorable couple ever.
They are. Like, it was like I just like that it was like basically the fan theory that they should get together, and then they did.
Yeah.
David Lynch was also shipping them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. And I love the fact that we are getting so much of Albert in this series, like so much Miguel Ferrer, because it's like one of his best roles, and obviously he passed away and stuff. So I just feel really lucky that we haven't just had like a 2-line cameo from him in this series.
Yeah, like we have from many other characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gordon and Tammy think it's pretty cute, and then they walk.
Tammy's
away.
trying to act like a human being.
Yeah.
She's trying.
And then
Underlined trying.
She is. She's like she's an alien that has like taken over a human and is trying to act like a human being but doesn't know how to. That's what she is.
I feel like she's only trying to act like that to ingratiate herself with the Gordon. Really.
So her and Gordon a couple because he's got his arm around her, and I was like,
But he touches all the women around him, so.
Yeah, he does.
He's old school. You can't blame him. That's his excuse.
Yes, you can.
That's his excuse that he gave to Denise.
Yeah.
So the Meachams are in their office as Tony arrives.
Did you say the Meachams?
Mitchums. Whatever.
You've been watching too much Iron Fist.
Close
I wish it was the Beechams.
Oh man.
I wish Ward Meacham was in this show. That'd be great.
Yes.
That's
Let's
all
take
we
out Jim
need.
Belushi and put in Ward Meacham.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Oh my gosh.
I like it.
Yeah, but what am I gonna do?
They send Candy down to get him, and she doesn't listen. She dawdles.
This is a scene I was just like, can we just not have this scene? Can we have a scene that, like, can we just have some plot, please?
I didn't like how we had to watch that whole thing, but I did like Jim Belushi's what the fuck like eventually.
I liked it when was it him that yelled, and then the guy that works for him, I can't remember his name, like because obviously it was just down his ear, and he was like ah like that. That was great. Warwick, that was his name. Yeah, the guy from The Dark Knight.
Yeah. So this all worked out really well for Anthony. He's not the greatest actor, but I mean, this probably wouldn't have worked if they didn't already know who Dougie Jones was and already want to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, Anthony had no idea that they already knew who this guy was and were already out to get him.
What if he meant a completely different Doug Jones, and he meant like the actor Doug Jones?
Oh no.
He's like, you have an enemy in the guy who was in Pan's Labyrinth.
Get him.
Yeah, that's a very non-unique name. It could, and millions of people could be named that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they were surprised when they saw him on TV that his actual name was Dougie Jones.
Right.
Or Mr. Jones.
On local news.
Then they go home, and they want to set up a meeting with Dougie because he took them for $3,400,000 if you include the money he won and the insurance money they lost out on.
You know when one of them said, "Now I know how Brando felt."
I wasn't
for a
sure
second.
who it was referring to.
I just wanted Wally Brando to wander in and be like, "Wally Brando," and then the audience to clap. Yay!
Bring Wally Brando back, please.
I know, I love him.
I was trying to figure out what Brando thing he was referring to there.
I have no idea. The Godfather, maybe?
But was he referring to like a real life Brando thing,
how
or
is
like
this-
like a role that Brando played? Like
I was just like thinking back through everything I know about Brando's roles, and I'm like, what kind of situation was he in that's similar to this? And I couldn't think of what.
Yeah.
The Island of Dr. Moreau.
oh, didn't Brando's son like get in like a lot of debt over something or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Gordon's drawing a picture of something.
It looks like the forest animal out of Princess Mononoke.
I want that
Antler
drawing
dog.
framed on my wall. It's delightful.
It's so cool.
That
It
long
is.
arm just coming in and out of frame. I love it. It's so weird.
It's going to turn up in the next episode of Dumbland.
Dumbland, yeah.
Yes.
And then there's a knock at the door, and it's Laura Palmer.
Crying.
Laura's giant crying head.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? That was very season 1 and 2 effects.
Yeah, which I like. I prefer it to some bad CGI, you know, if they did something.
Yeah.
It was fine. Yeah, and then I like Gordon. Albert's just kind of like, what the hell? Why are you staring in the middle of the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. But I don't know, what do you guys think it means by, like, Laura is the one? I mean, it's tying in with, like, episode 8 with she was created to destroy Bob, or...
Who knows?
She's the one that's gonna make it all go back to normal.
She's gonna bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what else it could be.
Head.
But we find out some disturbing things about Tammy. Or not Tammy, sorry, Diane.
We find out even more that Tammy's acting is truly disturbing.
I was wondering about the slow motion, like when she was slow motion walking down the hall. I was like, is that just so we can watch her hips sway, or is that because like
yes, of course it is. Of course it is.
Or is that because Laura's spirit is kind of like slowing things down to like a molasses kind of like molasses time, you know?
I think David Lynch is just a creep.
Laura's spirit is slowing it down and being like, watch that wiggle.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see this in slow motion. Yeah. What do you think of Diane's apparent betrayal?
I don't like. Why would she be working with Evil Coop?
Maybe she's evil Diane.
Oh.
She could have a doppelganger in her, or maybe she doesn't think she's working with Evil Coop because wasn't her message going to Mexico first, and then, or the message that went to her went to Mexico, then to her, or something?
I thought that was just to hide. It was so it couldn't be traced, so it was bouncing off a thing in Mexico, but she knew where it was going.
Oh, okay, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. But yeah, it'd be so weird if she was working with Evil Coop. Like, and why? She hasn't, like, because she hasn't been with the FBI in, like, forever. But I guess, I mean, she's got information now on Hastings, so, yeah, true. She's got information on Hastings, and that's what Coop wants, because he wants to go to the zone? Yes?
I guess so.
I don't know.
These past few minutes I've been kind of distracted because I've been looking for a picture, which I didn't find, unfortunately, but it's a picture of somebody took that drawing that Gordon Cole made of the antler creature, and they photoshopped it onto the screenshot of the Miss Twin Peaks prop guy who's like holding the deer with his penis.
Amazing.
They basically like photoshopped him pumping that thing. It was funny.
That's awesome.
So yeah, Gordon says he like sensed it when she hugged him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to go back and watch that hug.
Well, I mean, he did seem confused. I thought it was just because she was hugging him, period.
No one hugs him. He just hugs everyone else. He puts his arm around everyone else.
No woman has ever willingly touched me.
Yeah. What's happening?
What the?
Apart from his Shelley, the mother of his daughter, Becky.
Yeah.
Truth.
Well, so this is interesting if she's evil. It's didn't see that coming.
No, I honestly thought we'd seen the last of her. Like, I thought that would be it. She'd contact Coop, or she contacted Evil Coop, but I thought we wouldn't see her again. But now this kind of makes me doubt that, like, she might be back in the big showdown in the last episode that's going to tie up all the loose ends.
In the last 15 minutes. And we also learned that Mr. C was there at the very beginning of when that box in New York was set up, so very likely he's the billionaire who bankrolled it.
And who's the other dude? He looks like a floating monk.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't know who he is.
I didn't really look at him.
You only saw him for like a second, but he looked like a bald monk who was floating or something.
Then Sylvia calls Ben about Richard and asks for money, And they yell at each other, and then he asks Beverly to dinner.
Ben is a lot more cuddly this season.
Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
He's
he's
trying to be a good guy.
He's trying to be good.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question. Do we think we'll see we won't see Donna, but do we think we'll see the other two Hayward sisters in this series?
Not a chance.
Well, isn't the one who played Kirsten in the cast list?
Alicia
Oh,
Witt.
really?
Alicia
Maybe she'll be playing the piano in the Roadhouse one night.
Oh, wow.
She
I don't
could
know.
be playing a different character altogether though, because Ronette, the actress who played Ronette Pulaski, did not play Ronette Pulaski.
Mm-hmm.
Yet.
Yeah.
Can we talk about why does Sylvia Horne have so much money in a safe in her house?
Yeah. What about the bank?
Yeah.
One of those people who doesn't
Bank
trust
exploded.
never built a new one.
No.
Ever since a bank blew up my daughter, I haven't trusted banks.
They just buried Pete and who else was there? Andrew and Del Mibler just there, and turned it into a memorial to them, and couldn't build another bank, so everyone had to keep their money at home after that. See, I wonder why they split up then. I wonder if we'll find out. I think the next thing we get is Margaret. Maybe sad.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Log Lady's talking to Hawk, which is obviously like I don't even know if this was planned out as a separate scene from that previous scene where they were talking, because it just looked like they took some more footage from the shoot from her, and they're just like, let's reuse the footage of him listening to the phone call.
Yeah.
Not have them talk to each other at all. You know, we can create another phone call if we have him not react.
I feel like that's what they did. They just filmed a ton of stuff with her before she passed away, obviously, and then they've just kind of slotted it in wherever. That's how I feel what they've done with like Jerry Horne as well. They just took the actor, what's his name, David Patrick Kelly. Is that his name?
Yep.
I think it is. They just took him out to the woods and just let him do whatever and filmed it, and then they're just splicing it in.
Because he's been in the woods for days at this point in the show.
Yeah. Since the first episode.
And his battery on his phone's not dead yet.
We'll have to find out what phone it is when they product placement that as well.
Caitlin, did you notice what kind of phone he has?
No, I didn't.
You're on
Brand watch.
Brand watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will pay attention.
Oh, can we talk about the fact that Jim Belushi's character, by the way, shares your name, Brad? I thought you would enjoy that. Because I wrote in my notes, I hate Brad, and then I thought I shouldn't say that on the podcast because you might get upset.
No, I'm kind of used to it.
It's a shame nobody's told Brad to fuck off yet.
Oh, maybe that will happen. That would be amazing. Because then next time I record Calavici cast with the two of them, I can tell both Brad and Tammy to fuck off, and that would be amazing.
So she tells.
It makes me sad every time Log Lady's on screen as well. Like it's just yeah.
But there's so many scenes like this. Like the whole show is edited like this, where it's just like, let's take some of this and some of that and make a scene, reuse that shot that we already used, and it just the whole show feels sloppy to me.
It's because David Lynch doesn't care about like plot development and characters. It's all about just moments and weirdness and the look of things, and it's so unfeeling. Like it's like the only feeling you get is dread, anticipation, and creepiness. Like that's it. Like there's nothing human. Like I don't like it.
Well, I feel like the most human scene in the episode is again like seeing the Log Lady talk again, but that is all down to the fact that she has passed away since. That's nothing to do with the character, you know.
The only scene that actually felt human was the last episode with Miss Briggs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was such a good scene. Yeah.
So she talks about his friends, and the circle is almost complete, which presumably that means it needs Coop to be complete. And Laura's the one, whatever that means.
Or maybe Laura has to complete it.
Or maybe.
Maybe Coop has nothing to do with Bob being defeated and he's Dougie forever.
Probably.
I would be very, very upset.
What about Teresa Banks? No one ever thinks about her.
Yeah, why was she not special? What about Renette?
She didn't die.
I know.
What about all the other people that Bob killed before?
Where's Chet Desmond?
I know.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Why didn't
even
they
get
bring back
mentioned.
Kiefer Sutherland as well?
Sam, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the Roadhouse for a 7-minute song.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was obviously written by David Lynch too.
It was.
It's
Yes.
like his style. Yeah.
Yeah.
He always writes
It was
the
a
same
great song. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
like it's Rebecca Del what's her name? Rebecca.
Yeah.
Rebecca
That's it.
Del Rio, yeah.
It's very late, guys. So it was beautiful, but it was like the scene earlier in the episode. I was like, 7 minutes.
And this was the shortest episode yet, I believe.
It felt very short.
It had the
Like
shortest
both times I
runtime.
watched it. Yeah.
So it had the shortest runtime and it had the
Maybe that's
one
why
of the
I was
longest
okay with this
songs.
episode.
So I'm just hoping that means that there's a lot of shit to get to next episode.
I hope so. This it definitely felt like a filler episode. Like it had some stuff I enjoyed in it, but like there wasn't much to get your teeth into really.
Yeah.
This series could have easily been 9 episodes.
Yeah, I think so. She wore her Twin Peaks dress to the Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Tour. I don't know if
I
she
love
should have
it.
done that. I don't know if she should have done that. It's kind of weird.
It's very meta.
It's too on the nose. You mean?
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to film Twin Peaks today. I should wear my Twin Peaks dress.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Well, because she's not been in Twin Peaks before, so maybe she's fangirling as much as us.
Maybe.
I would wear my Twin Peaks dress.
So that's basically it. Any other notes that anyone has that they want to bring up?
I don't think so. Again, like, Tammy is so different to what I expected the character to be from the book. As in, like, a human being. Like, I really wish that, like, it was Laura Dern or Naomi Watts playing her.
Yeah, they could have done so much with that character.
Yeah, I just
think it's the
can't
actress's
imagine.
problem.
I just don't. No, I don't think it's entirely her part. I just don't think she's a good actress, and the way she's written, every time I see her on screen, I just don't imagine her doing investigation.
But I don't think it's her. I think that's the way she's being told to do everything, because it's too specific. That's not a choice that I believe she's making.
Didn't you say, Matt, that you had seen clips of her before and that she talks kind of weird already anyways?
I don't know if I said that, but I think
Someone
I've heard
said that, yeah.
Okay.
But she's just like
she's not a
she
professional
has,
actor.
I think she has spoken about how she's always felt like odd and like apart from most people, and she's not like everybody else. So that could be coming out as well. Like
I
just
think
that.
she should have played Candy, and Candy should have played Tammy.
Wow.
Just switch the actresses. I think it would have worked better.
Yeah.
So Claire, do you have a
Hello?
rating for this episode?
Oh, I forgot we do this.
Somebody else can go if you need time.
Okay, yeah, I need to think.
All right, Caitlin.
Thank
Sure.
you, Caitlin.
My
I'm
phone's-
throwing you under the bus.
I'm on my phone again today, and it might die. So if I disappear, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, like was said earlier, I think by Claire, I really felt like this was a filler episode. It was just there were some interesting things, but not interesting enough. And yeah, I guess the best part was the parts with Gordon Cole and like the bit at the end and stuff. But yeah, after watching this episode, I just didn't really feel like I remembered anything significant from it, and like nothing stuck out at all. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this one 6 out of 10 fly swatters.
To the face.
Yeah, it was my favorite episode. Like, all the stuff with Richard Horne, I wanted to like it more, but I feel like I need to know more about him in order to get invested in the character and what he's doing. as it is right now, it just feels like random scenes with a random guy because we know nothing about him, and
Yeah.
I feel like that for a lot of the characters, and I don't know. I'm hoping next week is a bigger episode. So I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10 floppy arms.
Floppy sex arms.
Do you want to go, Mel?
Sure. It's really odd for me to be talking about this episode, because I liked it when I first watched it, and I was like, not sure why I liked it, because I realized at the time, I was like, this is all the same scenes as I've seen before, so I don't know why.
Maybe you're just getting used to it.
I'm getting used to it. I think I'm just making my peace with the show.
Yeah.
I really think that's what it is. We'll see if that lasts.
I'm glad you're making your peace.
Yeah.
Every time you say make your peace, there's like this other TV show I watch called Winona Earp, and every time she shoots a bad guy, she's like, make your peace. And, that's what I think of. You're just killing demons, and
That's
anyways.
badass.
Yeah.
Well, I just killed my internal demon by accepting this show. So I've made my peace. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna give it a 7 out of 10 escaping coffee cups.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm out of here.
Woo. Yeah, I this episode, there are things I like. I like Dr. Amp always, because he's the best. I like the fact that we got to see Nadine has her drape runner store. I love Jerry Horn in the Woods. But yeah, Jim Belushi has more screen time in this episode than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I never need to see that on a television show or anything. It's not great. Yeah, not a lot happened. So, I'll give it 6.5 out of 10. Hello, Johnnies.
Hello.
Alright.
Is it me now?
We've
Okay.
stalled as long as we can stall.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I would kind of agree with. I'm going to go with about Brad's rating as well, like 6.5, 7. I'm going to go with 6.5. Episode, yeah, it didn't blow me away. I feel like in a few weeks, or even maybe next week, I'm going to be like, oh, what happened in that episode? And I won't remember. Because nothing really stands out to me. The only bit that really stands out is maybe the candy with the fly swatting, and that's it. I don't even. Yeah, and the Richard Horn scene maybe. But yeah, just nothing really stood out. It just felt like filler. So I hope we get some good stuff next week. Yeah, so I'm going to give it 6.5 out of 10. Local news.
Nice.
Cool. Alright, we're going to move into feedback. Claire, do you have to go or can you stay?
I can stay.
Alright.
What about Caitlin? Her phone is dying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just sign off because
Okay.
I think it's getting close.
No problem.
Okay.
She just wants to get out of reading feedback.
Actually, that's one of my favorite parts. I love reading feedback. I'll read one and then I'll go. How about?
Right, there's a really short one. How about you read that one?
Okay.
It's super duper short.
Yeah.
Superty duper.
It's from Amy. Do you get it?
Yep, I got it. This new Skype app on phones is super confusing. Anyways. Alright. Perhaps others have suggested the same thing before, but every time I hear the reference to the Black Lodge and White Lodge, I can't help but think that the names might apply not just to locations, but to societies, evil or otherwise, like the Masons or the Elks. Enjoy the podcast and loving the show.
Nice.
Oh.
Maybe that would make the show a lot like Carnival as well.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Could be. I'm sure there's somebody who worships... Well, I mean, there's the Dugpas. I think they worship the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
Brad, I put a audio file in there for you,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, I'll talk to you
alrighty.
guys later. Yeah.
See you later.
Yep.
Bye,
Yeah.
Kaylin.
See you
Bye,
next week.
Claire. See you.
Bye.
Okay, so you want to read this one from Luke?
I can.
Okay.
Greetings, everyone. This was a heck of an episode. Just when I thought I couldn't hate Richard, Horn, and Chad anymore. The sequence with Richard, Sylvia, and Johnny reminded me a lot of either Blue Velvet or the Singing in the Rain sequence from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
I admit I wasn't fond of Janie E at first, but the relationship between her and Coop has grown on me, and their sex scene was equal parts hilarious and sweet. Speaking of relationships, I wish we got to hear Albert and Constance on their date. No, that's private.
Yes!
That's private, Luke.
They'd have been doing comedy back and forth at each other. Aw.
Yeah. I have a question for Brad. Nadine/Dr. Jacoby or Nadine/Mike Nelson?
Oh, listen, I love Dr. Jacoby and I love Nadine, but Nadine and Mike forever. Let nothing tear them asunder.
I was very pleasantly surprised we got more of the Log Lady, and Catherine Coulson was as ever sublime. All in all, I give it 8 out of 10 Laura Palmer visions. Best wishes as always, Luke. Thanks, Luke's. I said Luke's. Sorry, Luke's.
But guys, what if Nadine and Dr. Jacoby are together for real?
Oh, maybe. What'd she say about him? He's so beautiful, I think she said.
He's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So maybe Ed is finally with Norma. That'd be cool.
Maybe they were together and he's hiding out from her, and like he's at a secret location where she can't get to him.
She's like obsessed with him. She's like
obsessed.
stalking him.
Yeah. Here's a really short one from Harold. This exhilarating episode truly reminded me of good old Twin Peaks. It swung from horror to comedy and back again in the same way that only the David Lynch directed episodes in the original series did. Pretty much the entire episode was a highlight for me. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Here's one from Pedro.
That's
Do
cool.
you mind reading it, Claire?
I can read it. Where are you pasting it?
In Skype.
In Skype?
I can paste
sure.
it in Facebook if that's easier for you.
No, Skype's fine. How does it start?
It starts with, "Hey guys, this is Pedro."
Okay. Hey guys, this is Pedro from word I can't say, Brazil. Recife? Covfefe? I'm sorry, Pedro. I can't pronounce that word. Am I mistaken, or am I the first South American fan on the feedback?
Yeah, you very well might be.
That's cool. Oh, and I've lost my place. Sorry.
That's okay.
Been a long time listener.
There we go. Been a long time listener, but first time poster. Now that we're officially halfway through the season, it kind of worries me that we won't get rid of Dougie anytime soon. Especially considering some leaked set photos, which I don't know if you guys are at liberty to discuss. Oh, I didn't know anything about those. Really enjoyed this episode and been really enjoying this whole thing so far. Found it really cute that Alba stands. Yes, I've seen people naming it. Oh, is really happening. But why does Gordon have to touch Tammy so much in basically every scene? I agree. The Mitchum brothers and Candy were by far the most enjoyable thing in this. It's funny that Amy Shields seems to be one of the most excited new cast members, even though her part is relatively small. Oh, okay, cool.
Is it? Maybe she has more to do.
Maybe. Maybe she's the one
It's
that takes
not the size of the part.
The Richard scenes were hard to watch. Somehow he managed to take the most punchable face in Twin Peaks title away from James, and not in a good way. I would still rather punch James. Sorry, that was me. And not in a good way.
Belushi.
Oh, yes, Jim Belushi, definitely. Even though Eamon Farron's performance has been wonderful, I really hope there's a good explanation if Doppel Coop ends up being his father. To me, so far, that's just some shoehorned in way to create some sort of Cooper-Audrey connection this season, even though I couldn't care less about whether or not we see Audrey. Anyway, thanks for the amazing podcast, Abracos. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce words. I don't do words. You gave me the worst feedback to read.
I didn't want to read it.
I thank you. Thank you
I
for
didn't want to make a
throwing me
fool
under
out of
the...
myself.
Thanks, Matt. I love you too.
Here's another really short one from Cry8 Young.
Or Chip Dale.
Okay.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Roll the dice, Sheena. Local news.
Yay!
Hey guys, I'm enjoying the new season of your podcast.
But are you enjoying the show?
Yeah. What about the actual show we're watching? I wonder what Richard Horde needs all the money for so badly. I believe it's because he's trying to skip town, I think.
Yeah.
I hope it's to get matching parts for his car. And for God's sake, why do they torture poor Johnny Horn with that terrible-looking Teddy Ruxpin on acid?
It's so awful.
Overall, I like this episode with the Dougie love scene or the casino girl killing flies. Looking forward to your thoughts on this episode. Merci. Glenn. Here's one from Glenn. We've got 2 left. Claire, I'll get you to read this one too. Or no.
Why? What words have you seen?
Okay,
that's fine.
You're saving a particular one for Brad.
Yeah, I'm saving Matt's for Brad. We've only got two left.
Yeah, I can read this one.
Okay.
I can read it. Oh, okay.
Oh, you want to read it?
Do you want to fight, Claire? Do you want to arm wrestle?
Yeah. I'm rolling my sleeves up right now.
You have it, Claire.
Okay. Hi, Twin Peaks.
Wrestle her while you do that.
Okay, go. Winner! And now local news. Okay. Hi, Twin Peaks podcast gang. Long time listener, first time emailer. I'm generally liking the new season, sort of, and the last 2 episodes have been the light at the end of the tunnel, promising some semblance of a return to old school Twin Peaks. Granted, the light is kind of dim and might just be another long flame and film effect sequence. So big question, how is it the Doctor and especially Janie E didn't notice the gunshot scar on Dougie Cooper's stomach?
Was it there?
Yes. I don't know. I didn't see it in the episode. I did look. But he should have a couple of scars. Also, how is it okay that Janie E essentially rapes a mentally incapacitated man? Agreed. Is this basically how her marriage to Dougie operated? Yeah, agreed. I'm not digging the glacial pace of the show, and I can't shake the suspicion that Lynch and Frost are fucking with us. I understand why they can't allow Cooper to come to his senses, because if Cooper was Cooper, he would get shit done, and then the show would actually have to have things happen. The show is dicking around, the cinematic equivalent of my kids putting on their shoes or cleaning their rooms. I feel like the pace is improving, but that might just be because I'm now conditioned to sit through whatever fuckery Lynch feels the need to put on screen. There have been times where the show has almost broken me, between Wally Brander, how dare you! Wally Brander's the best. Sweeping to Green Onions, 9 Inch Nails for some reason, and drawing with Dougie. Drawing with Dougie. Despite all this, overall I'm enjoying the show. We can all like the show and still have major gripes about it. In fact, I don't know how anyone can be totally fine with the new series.
There's a lot of people who are.
Well, one of the things I was going to say earlier was, when you were asking me my thoughts on the show, when there's been people who have said, oh, it's absolutely everything I hoped for, I don't understand. Because I honestly don't see how this show is at all what people thought it would be.
How it could be predicted in any way, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I can understand people loving every bit of it because they want to love every bit of it,
Yeah.
Well, I think there is a subset of people that love David Lynch because they think it's really deep and they just like how weird it is and they feel like there's mystery to try to figure out. The thing is, I don't trust David Lynch. I feel like it's not that David Lynch is some great genius that's it's so beyond us. I feel like David Lynch makes what David Lynch likes, and people are just putting all of this stuff on it that isn't there, and I don't think it's
just like everybody else.
I understand some people are like, well, yeah, I understand he just makes it, he's not trying to give us anything, but just the interpreting is the part that I like, and I'm like, but if you're just trying to interpret something that isn't there, you might as well be looking at clouds. I don't find that interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way too, and then sometimes I feel bad about feeling that way because it almost makes me feel like I'm being anti-intellectual, but then I'm like, I don't think that's being intellectual.
No,
divine meaning from art.
No, because I feel like art needs to express an idea or concept, And I feel like a lot of David Lynch's stuff isn't expressing an idea. And I think it is completely valid in the form of like abstract art and things, that the very concept can be a lack of concept. But that's not what this is, and that's not what I see a lot of people claiming to enjoy about it.
But I guess it is what you get out of it, and if some people do get something
Sure,
out of it, then that's great. Yeah, but they can't force everybody to. Yeah.
Don't be surprised that others aren't following along.
Yeah, not everybody's going to get the same enjoyment out of every single piece of art out there. Everybody's going to get a different experience seeing it. Some people might get revulsed by it. Some people might love it. Like whatever.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people out there who say that Showgirls is a bad movie, and those people are crazy, because it's the greatest movie ever made.
Claire, question. Has anybody been in more awkward sex scenes than Kyle MacLachlan now?
No, that... Oh, you're right. Wow.
Which is more awkward, Showgirls or this episode? They both involve flopping around.
I'm gonna have to think about that and send you in feedback for the next episode on that, because that is a tough question. Yeah. Anyway, back to the email. Despite all this, overall I'm enjoying the show. We can all like the show and still have major gripes about it. In fact, I don't know how anyone can be totally fine with the new series. But if I didn't like it on some level, I would have stopped watching. Matthew Lillard has impressed the hell out of me, and there have been several other performances and scenes that have been exceptional. Like everyone, I have some theories about what the hell is going on, but I'll save them for another time since this letter is getting pretty long. Keep up the great work. Your show has helped me through some tough times, like when David Lynch decided to use a screensaver as half an episode. And I'm sure there will be more tough times ahead. Also, I want to give a shout out to Evan. I haven't talked to that arsehole in years, but as always, his insight and humour are spot on. Best regards, Glenn C.
He is an asshole, isn't he?
He is an arsehole. He's a lovable arsehole.
Indeed.
All right, it's
Thanks,
time
Glenn.
to Will's audio feedback, and there's a note attached. He says, I forgot to mention Candy. She's the best.
All right.
Hello, this is Will. Sorry I haven't been sending feedback. My viewing buddy only wants to watch the Walking Dead shows on Sunday nights when they're on, so haven't been able to watch Twin Peaks before you guys record. I watched the last two back-to-back, so I hope I don't mix up episodes, but this episode was, it was pretty good. It was a very nice surprise to see the log lady back. I didn't think we'd see her back this season. It seems like a scene that could have been filmed at any point and then just inserted wherever they wanted to. It kind of reminded me of the log lady intros on the DVDs. And there was a lot of her talking just to get to the last line, which I think was the important line. Miriam, I really hate to see that happen to Miriam, and there's my washing machine that's really loud. I think Miriam deserved better. It was nice to see Mrs. Horn and Johnny Horn. They deserved better also. Finally took Dougie to a fucking doctor, but it doesn't seem like Dr. Phlox found anything wrong with him. I mean, they're just amazed by Dougie's abs and, sent him home, I guess. And what else happened? Albert and what's her name having dinner. That was cute, but I was kind of put off by how Gordon Cole was touching Tammy in that scene. I think that was this episode. Like, keep your hands off her, you creep. But anyway, it was a pretty good episode. I laughed at times. The performance at the end, it was a great song, but it was just the performance just went on too long. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks, Will.
I love how everybody mentions that.
What?
Yeah.
Touching Tammy.
Yeah.
Stop touching, but she's touching him just as much.
Is she?
Just stop everyone touching everyone.
Yeah, she was like putting her hand on his shoulder and stuff.
Oh.
She just kept touching him.
That's inappropriate for The Office.
Yeah.
Okay, and...
Stop it.
I cannot imagine touching my coworkers.
Oh, don't let them hear this. All right, now the final one is from Matt A.
All
Do you want to
right.
read it, Brad?
Hello, Twin Peaks Podcast. How are you today? Hello, Twin Peaks Podcast. How are you today? Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today? It's becoming increasingly difficult to type up feedback for Twin Peaks: The Return. Everything that needed to be said about the show's lack of structure and awkward/slow pace has already been said. Likewise, everything that needed to be said about Dougie has already been said. 10 episodes and he's still here.
Oh my God. I was thinking about that today, how, like, on the second episode he was in, episode 4, we're like, all right, we're tired of this.
Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today? Let's commit to our roles as SJWs and piss off more David Lynch apologists by raising the issue of consent in the sex scene between Dougie and his wife.
Yes.
By the look of his satisfied grin, the sex is giving Dougie a thrill. But can a mentally incapacitated man give consent? What if he's grinning because he's thinking about puppies and how adorable they are? That's what I'm doing. Meanwhile, his wife is raping him. I know another fantastical series covered by Brad and Claire that played fast and loose with the concept of consent.
Whimsical rape.
Oy, this reminds me of that. Not good. Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today? The scenes in Vegas continue to be a drag.
Can I just interrupt for a moment, Brad, just to say that I know Matt is thinking of coming to London, and I think he's mastered the accent through you, Brad, so I think he'll fit in just fine.
This is all Brad, you know.
Well,
He's mastered it via me.
Yeah, he's mastered the accent. I did say via Brad. He's mastered it through you, Brad.
Basically, he'll be sending me emails, and then I'll just speak whatever he wants to say.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Fit in.
And he'll fit right in.
Yeah, he'll carry around a teddy bear with a weird head on it, and from that head will come my voice.
And no face. Oh, no.
Oh.
That would be awful. Anyway.
The scenes in Vegas continue to be a drag on the series. It's always nice to see Robert Nepper, who played Tommy Dolan in Carnival. Matt and Mel, you know what to do here. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Oh, God. We just reviewed Carnival on Hooplecast.
I was literally wondering what he was trying to get us to do, and couldn't think of it. I was like, does he want us to say a quote from the shows? I don't remember the show.
Does he want us to sing the theme song?
Now,
like, what does he want?
I'm sure you have a musical performance prepared.
I was like, do I have to do a 60-second summary?
I will say, I listened to that episode yesterday, and it was a delight. And I am actually sorry to say, Mel, that usually I give Hooplecast each episode an award for the most adorable moment in the episode, and you have won pretty much every episode, Mel. But Matt A did beat you this week because his infectious enthusiasm about Carnival was adorable.
He should win this past episode. Yeah, he was very.
Yeah, it was a really fun episode to listen to.
Yes.
All right. Brad's favorite human, Jim Belushi, returns. Perhaps his awkward line delivery is his attempt to sabotage his scenes, like he sabotaged female comedy writers and performers on SNL. That's John Belushi.
Yeah.
Jim Belushi and John Belushi, both assholes. But John Belushi, dead, was on SNL.
One's dead, one's not.
Jim Belushi, unfortunately, still alive, traipsing through the world, being a prick and refusing to sign autographs for sick children. Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today? Poor teacher whose name I don't remember was murdered by Richard Horn. I don't understand why Miriam, I just remembered her name, mailed a testimony to the sheriff rather than seeing the sheriff in person immediately after she witnessed a vehicular homicide.
She doesn't know she's in a TV series, that's what.
Yeah. Actually, wouldn't she have given her statement at the crime scene that very day, 3 ellipses? Unless she left the crime scene and just went on with her day, ? In which case, fuck you, Miriam. And I agree, fuck you, Miriam. Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today? Americans, a PSA. Sign up for informed delivery at the U.S. Postal Service website. Every morning, the post office sends you emails with images of the letters you're to receive that day. Really? I need to. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
If you have a chat in your life who likes to intercept your mail, this is a good way to thwart him.
Wow, Matt, you're very organized.
Yeah.
Hello, Twin Peaks podcast. How are you today? Okay, that's all I got. I'm really struggling to come up with discussion points. I'm typing this during my lunch break at work, and I don't have the episode with me, so I can't scrub through it to find anything else worth mentioning. This was not a great episode, but we just have to hold tight, because it's about to get good, right?
Right. I have to believe that.
Everybody's promising us, so...
Yeah, you guys all promised.
You guys promised. It's
Yeah.
gonna be good soon, right?
Guys, I got burned on that episode 8, and I'm not over it yet. I'm like, whatever.
What if you're right? What if it's the last 15 minutes of this whole
No.
series? And then people are like, see? Told you it would get good. Told you.
The thing is, what everyone seems to be equating with getting good is getting Cooper back, which I do not agree with. I want characters I like interacting.
Yeah, I want more Bobby.
I want to know what's happening with characters that I like. Like, is
Yeah.
that so wrong?
Are Bobby and Shelley together?
Like, the fact we have to read through the tea leaves to learn about Nadine's life, which is the closest we've gotten to anything updating from the original series.
Yeah.
Are Ed and Norma together?
Yeah.
Oh well. It's gonna get there. It's gonna get there.
But will it?
Just give me more scenes that I enjoy. Like, I accept that I'm not going to enjoy it as a whole.
In the meantime, Brad, we have Quantum Leap.
Yes. Time for plugs.
Oh, I didn't actually mean that as a plug, but sure.
Too late.
Plug away.
Calavici Fashion Cast, where Brad, Tammy, and I discuss Quantum Leap, the great series, and we mainly talk about the fashions. And we recently did a awesome 3-parter that destroyed Tammy so much emotionally she had to book a holiday to get over it.
Aww.
It was so sad. And then we did an episode after that wasn't that great. And I'm also on Defenders podcast with these people called Matt and Mel. Oh, it's you guys. Hooray. It's also
Weirdos.
Tammy, who I've just spoken about. Yay. And we're having a little break at the moment before we cover Defenders, which comes out in a month today. No, a month 2 days ago. Wah! But we might be doing some bonus episodes, like an interview on Sunday with one of the directors, so that would be fun. But follow along there if you want to hear more of Mel, Matt, and me.
And who doesn't?
I mean, who doesn't? If you don't, then you're a fool.
All right. What's going on in Ramjack?
On the most recent episode, we were still in Christmas in July. We talked about the upcoming Hallmark holiday films that sound just bonkers. Also, I discussed Catherine the Great a bit because I'm reading a really good book right now. Upcoming episode, we will be talking about A Family Circus Christmas, which is a nightmare.
When is Family Circus not a nightmare?
Oh, that's the creepiest Christmas special ever.
Interesting.
How old is it? What year is it from?
79.
Whoa.
It's animated, is it?
Well, is it? I feel like it's animated.
Is it a motion comic?
It's really shitty animation. The only thing they really bothered to animate were the mother's breasts.
Oh my god, that's awful.
Yeah, constantly moving. It's very upsetting.
Oh, that's
Jiggling animated breasts. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's no.
Yeah.
No, I can't even deal with that.
Didn't know David Lynch did animation.
Dumbland.
Yeah. Get the stick, get the
That's
stick.
true. That's
He
true.
did a comic strip. It was probably right next to Family Circus.
By the way, I made one of the guys at my work watch all of Dumbland. I recommended it to him, and he came in the next day, and I was like, "Did you watch Dumbland?" And he was just like, "Yes, it was dumb." And I was like, "Well, it's in the name."
Oh, I like Dumbland.
I love it. The Get the Stick episode is one of my favorite things ever.
Yes.
All right. So thanks for coming on, Claire.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I'm a bit sleepy. But it was. That's okay. I have the day off tomorrow, so it's fine. But it's been so nice coming on. Love you guys. You're awesome. Loving the podcast. I hope the show gets better, not just for me as a watcher, but for you guys. I hope you get to talk about some awesome stuff.
Yeah. All
If
right.
it's not awesome, we'll make it awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make everything awesome.
With fanfics.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Where they give consent, damn it.
Yeah. I'm gonna write a fanfic where Dougie gives consent. All right. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook, and visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.